Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am so glad that you can make it. Today I'm going to be doing just as the title down there says, showing you how to remove an object from your video. Some people may not want to watch this video, some people may not care how to remove it, and that's all fine and dandy. Please feel free to skip this video and find another one that you really like, because this is an automotive channel. I understand that you come for the cars, but I and my channel is automotive related, but more importantly I am here to help whenever I can. And a lot of people ask, how do I do this, how do I do that, what do I use, yada yada yada. So me being the type of person I am willing to help. I am willing to share whenever I can. So let's get on with that part. How to remove an object from your video. Now let's face it, us being creators, no matter how much planning we do, how careful we are, we always miss something. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So today I'm going to show you how to get rid of something that appears in your video when you go back through and try to edit the video, and you're like, oh God, I can't believe that's in there. You know, it happens to all of us. So don't feel bad, don't feel ashamed, and by all means, do not throw away that footage. I'm fixing to show you how to fix that. Let me explain it to you, the process, so you can kind of wrap your heads around it. My background, before I ever thought about doing videos on YouTube, I was really deep into photography. I still am. I love taking pictures. I take pictures of everything and anything. So that's where my background comes from. And during the process of learning how to take pictures, I also had to learn how to edit them. And one of the greatest programs out there for photography editing is Photoshop. You can change colors, you can take stuff out of pictures, you can add stuff pictures. I mean, it is such a powerful tool. So with that said, I learned that just because you have a picture, right? Back to the Andy Griffith days. Just because you have a picture does not mean that is how that picture has to look. And I got to thinking, video doesn't have to be that way either, but we have to figure out how to do this. Video editing and picture editing, photo editing, whatever you want to call it, works along the same lines, but not exactly. There is no clone tool, there is no stamp tool, there is no anything like that in video editing, okay? So we have to rethink the process and learn how to do it differently. Long story short, you got a picture, and photography, and just because that picture looks this way does not mean it has to stay that way. I've already mentioned that, I know. But you never ever want to mess this picture up. You want to build upon it, and that's called layers. Each time you do something different, you're adding another layer to the original picture. You can get rid of all these and the picture still be there. That's what is so great about Photoshop. You're not messing your original picture up at all. So you got your picture. You want to add text. You put another layer on top of it. You add the text. You want to change the color. Okay, you still have the picture with the text, and it is showing up on this layer, right? So then you can change the color of this layer. Well, once you change that color, it becomes its own layer. Then if you want to take something out, you work on this picture, and then the finished project will have the object gone or added or whatever you want to do. That is how Photoshop works. Davinci Resolve and photo editing in general works the same way. If you go back and watch my other videos, I try to explain how to add text, how to add music, all that stuff. And it's the same way. You have your video, you want to add text to it, well, you have to put another layer on top of it. You want to add some kind of graphic or some kind of movement or whatever, you're just stacking. Same principle, thought process as the photo editing. And that's why I can comprehend it. I understand it. A lot of people may not. The people that have never dealt with photo editing outside of just changing color, will not understand. That is why I have decided to do this line of videos, to try to help you guys understand, try to help you guys better your videos so that your videos can be popular, get out there and in the end make money, and for you to better know how to do it, make you a better creator, and make your videos pop more, make them more professional looking. So with all this gobbledygook said, I know, long-winded explanation, but I wanted you guys to understand, and I wanted people that's not really interested to understand if they've made it this far. So let's get into my room where the computer and everything's at, and I'll show you how to do it. It's not hard at all. Alright, I got you set up in front of the computer. I hope you can see it okay. First thing we're going to do is click on Davinci Resolve. Then we're going to click on the new project. It brings up the program. Top left corner, File, Import Media, and that's going to bring up your whole computer where you have everything stored. And this one I have stored on my external hard drive. So I have to go in it and tell it to bring up everything, and then this is the one we're after. I already know because I've done the opening to the video. You double click that, or you can click on it and tell it to open, either or. Yes, we want to change it for the settings of the computer program and for uploading everything. Click it and drag it, right? Click, hold, and drag it. And this is normally click, so I'm going to click it and show you. But this is the original footage. Okay, but for this video purposes and everything, I'm going to get rid of the sound. So if you click on the video clip, you can see it highlights the video and the audio. To get rid of one of the or the other, click on the two links, right? That's a chain which says it's linking them together. Click that, right? Click off the screen to unhighlight anything. Once that is not highlighted, you can click on either or, and it highlights it. Well, we want to highlight that and get rid of it. So highlight it and hit delete. It's gone. Now on your keyboard, on a traditional keyboard, to the right hand side you have numbers. Just to the left of that you will see 4 arrows. You got a up, a down, a left, and a right. Using those arrows you do it like shortcuts. For instance, if I want to go back to the very beginning, I can take my mouse and point in the timeline and click it like such. But sometimes it's hard to get it exactly. Well, let's say we're right here and we want to back it up, for just a little bit. Hit your left mouse key and you can see the timeline backing up, 1 frame at a time. Or the same for the right. But we want to get all the way back to the very, very beginning of this clip. So you hit up 1 time. And that takes you to the beginning of that clip. If you hit 2 clips, you want to go to the beginning of that, you hit up arrow twice. Vice versa, if you want to go to the end, hit down arrow. But this just saves a little time, right? Going from beginning to end. That's all you're doing. Now once you have that done, always save your project. Once you get a little bit done, save it. Top left corner, File, Save Project, and type in what you're doing. In this case, we're removing the tripod, so that's going to be my name, and hit enter. And the reason you do that, I have found after setting, even with photography, after sitting in front of the computer for a couple hours at a time working on a project, the computer sometimes times out, goes into sleep mode, it gets a glitch, the program gets a glitch, everything shuts down, and you've lost everything. So we know that right now, if it shuts down, when we reopen it, we can open this project and have everything we've saved. So after we do a few things in the video, we'll save it again. A few things in the video, we'll save it again. So nothing gets lost. Now, go down to the color wheel, the color tab, click on that because this is where everything's going to happen. We have to add another serial node to it, and I'll show you what that is in a second. If your screen comes up like this, you can't add a node right now because there's no nodes. So what you have to do is go up to the top right, there's a box with 4 little arrows in it, pointing each corner. Click that. Now it brings up your node. Think of as a node as a layer, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to click on that and highlight it. You're going to right click it. Go down to where it says add node. You're going to add a serial node. You can click on add serial node before and it'll put it over here, but we don't want that because we're stacking our layers at this time. So click on add serial node. Highlight it. Now to go back to the large screen, hit the square with the 4 little arrows in it again. Boom. Now using the wheel on your mouse, you can scroll in and make it larger. Now if you look right here, you can see the tripod with the GoPro on it. Look at the pavement. This is where it's setting. It's setting on pavement. It's not setting on grass. So we're going to get our patch from somewhere off of this pavement. You always want to get it as close to the object you're removing as you can. And the reason for that is the tone, the contrast, the shading, everything matches that better to that area than if you would get it over here. The sun might be over here, and shadows and tint and everything will be different over here, if that makes sense to you. So now what you want to do, you're going to go down this little circle with the 4 dots on it. That's called your power window. You want to select that. Click the quarter circle, and that gives you a little like ink pen marker. Now if you look, you can see my tripod is setting right on the edge of the dark to light. So I'm going to get my patch right in front of it. But I'm going to go up a little higher than the tripod because you can't get a patch exactly the same size. I always make it a little larger. And click it. Go a little further over, click again. Past the dark spot because we want to include and overlap everything, right? And just make you a patch. Now after you do that, you have your patch. You can move it and cover up that for 1 frame of the video. If you let it go as is now, it'll cover it for 1 frame and then the rest will be just like you see it. So to make it the same, we want to create a whole new video layer of just that patch. And that's okay. So the way you do that, you have a square with looks like a scope crosshairs in it. Click on that. It's called tracker. Now we're not zooming our camera. We're not doing anything. The camera's not moving at all. It's stationary. It's on a tripod. Since we have it on a tripod, nothing's moving, we can unclick most of these. Well, it's not going to be 3D. It's not going to be rotating. It's not going to be zooming. It's not going to be tilting. But I will leave those 2 just because that's the 2 main ones you always use, okay? You know, you just don't want to tie up sources and computer function and everything if you don't have to. And once you get that, the next step is you want to play the tracking so that it reproduces what you have. The way you create that extra layer with that patch is to do what's called layer tracking or node tracking. So what you do is you go into the tracking window like I was saying, and you're going to hit the play button. And now we'll play the whole video clip with the patch in it. Then all you do is go back to the first section. Now once you have that done, that is the very first step in what you're trying to accomplish. Now you can take it and you can move it manually, or here's a better way that I have found that you can actually see better. Go into the squared window. I forgot what this is actually called. Sizing, I'm sorry. It's a sizing window. It's a square that has 2 arrows on each corner. Click that. Brings up this. Okay? Now it says input sizing because that's what you're doing. You're changing the sizing of the video that's being inputted into the program. But you want to click that and go to node sizing because you're working on the node, okay? Now right here where it says sizing, pan and tilt, that's the 2 we're going to work with. First one, you know where you got your patch from. So if you hold in pan, click and hold it, and you're going to drag it left and right. But watch what happens up here. You actually see some magic. Look at that, your patch is moving. See it moving across the tripod? Well, once you get it to where it covers up everything left to right, let go of that. Then come back and grab tilt and drag it. Now watch, you move it one way or you move it the other way. And the reason I like this way better than another way that I'm not going to worry about showing you right now is because you can actually see the patch without the square around it. It's easier to line it up. And I see just a slight little piece of white right there. So I want to see if I can get rid of that. And I just go back up to the original and boom. Now, if you really zoom in and look on this, you can see a little bit of a line. So we want to feather the edges. So we go back to our tracking window. And Let's see. I'm sorry, it's not our tracking window, it's our power window. Click on that. And then now that you have that selection made, now you can see exactly where it's at. We want to soften the outside of it just a little bit, say like 25-30%. Okay? Now you go back up and click on the sizing window, and that line's gone. Now you hit play, and here's your finished video. No more tripod. It's absolutely, whoop, I see a little piece of it poking through. That's why you always hit play. And we're going to get it close and stop it. Right there. Now for right now, we're going to go back up and save the project again just to make sure that if anything happens. Then we're going to go back into we're in our power window. We're going to move that over to the left just a little bit. Click it and drag it. Now you see the little white dot gone. Let me show you that again. This is where it was at. You can see a little bit of white right there, and I'll remove the whole thing. But in that particular section, here we go. Hit play again. We want to make sure that it stays that way the whole time. And see, now that I have feathered now black's coming through. My patch isn't big enough. That's why you want to play and save, okay? So now I want to go back and make my patch a little larger. So I just click on the tracking window, and I can go up to the corner and make that selection a little bit larger just by dragging that, okay? Then go back into the sizing and hit play again and make sure nothing changes. A little bit of white poking through. Right there. So now I want to zoom it back over to the left. And bam. That's how you do it. That is all. Now the tripod is gone. And that's all there is to doing this. And then naturally you go down to deliver. If you're done with it, you save it. If not, you go back to edit. Edit tab, you can add your text, you can add your audio, more video clips, whatever you want to do. And with that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. It really is that simple. I mean, if you have never done anything like that before, I understand that it's a little confusing, a little complicated. So by all means, go to where you can do something. Do your little part, stop it if you don't understand it, back up and replay it again, okay? Watch it as many times as you want. That's what it's here for, to try to help you figure out how to do that. Now, you can do it to where objects are moving. You know, like if there was something on the car that I wanted hidden, I could take care of that. That's a whole different type of tracking. I mean, you use the same things and it works along the same way, but there's a few different steps to it, and it's a little bit more complicated. But I wanted to show you guys how to take out objects because, you know, let's face it, like I said, no matter how careful we are, there's going to be something there sometimes. Whether it falls from the sky, like if you're under a tree, it falls down, something walks in like a cat and lays down, like has happened in several of my videos. You know, things happen, and you need to take them out. So that was the whole purpose of this video. If you like the information I have provided you in this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, because there's a lot of other people out there that are trying to become creators on YouTube that this could really help out and everything. And I'll provide a link to the free version of Davinci Resolve, and I'll provide the link to the paid version, because let's face it, the paid version you can do a whole lot more, but it is professional quality, and there's just a lot of things in there that I have looked into that won't benefit what I'm doing with Davinci Resolve. You know, I'm not a professional movie maker, so the free version is plenty strong enough for what I want to. As you can see, if you looked at any of my videos, you've seen some of the things I've done with it. So, but please share the video, you know, that way newcomers can see this also. Please like it, that way it puts it up in the search engine for newcomers to actually be able to see, and it shows me that, you know, the information I have provided you like, and that I'll know to make more. And I'm sorry to ramble. I'm just, trying to get all the information in there, and I feel like I'm jumping everywhere. So with all that said, I hope each and every one of you have a most wonderful day. Get out there and enjoy your car. That's what it's for. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much.
Just 136, 1029 for cruise.